Christine Lagg was born December 1st, 1847 in Windsor, Connecticut, to Ella Fralic Ladd, her father, and Augusta Niles, her mother. She was the oldest of 3 children. Her and her family lived in New York until 1853, when they moved back to Windsor, Connecticut when she was 6. Her mother was a strong supporter of women's rights, which gave Christine encouragement during a time when the odds were against women. However, her mother died when Christine was 12 years old. Following the death of her mother, Christine was sent to live with her paternal grandmother in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
She spent 2 years at Wesleyan Academy in Wilbur, Massachusetts, where she took the same courses as the boys who were preparing to go to Harvard. She graduated in 1865 as the valedictorian of her class. She then attended Vassar College despite her family thinking that she should not pursue education. She convinced them that schooling was for her by telling them that she should learn to support herself since she isn't likely to get married. In her words, there were too many beautiful New England women, and she looked too ordinary. Although her education was financed by her maternal aunt, she had to take a year off of school to teach in Utica, New York, and do independent studies in order to earn more money. After returning to Vassar, she was able to receive her degree in 1869. While attending Vassar, she was very active in women's rights. Her astronomy professor, Maria Mitchell, mentored her at school and encouraged her to pursue math and science. Despite her love for physics, she was not allowed into the laboratories, so she stuck to studying math. For 9 years after graduating from Vassar, she instructed math and science at secondary schools in Pennsylvania. She published multiple articles on mathematics in the British journal Educational Times. However, she did not feel like teaching was her passion. She applied to Johns Hopkins University for her graduate studies, which was not open to women at the time. But another contributor to Educational Times, James Sylvester, urged the school to accept her on the condition that she was only allowed to attend his lectures. Her hard work earned her a spot in other lectures, and she was given the stipend of a fellow from 1879 to 1882, but the title of fellow was withheld.
Christine met her husband, Fabian Franklin, at Johns Hopkins. He was a fellow student in the Faculty of Mathematics. The two married on August 24, 1882. Within the next 2 years, they had 2 daughters, one of which passed away as an infant.
Christine then went to study in Mueller's lab. She was allowed to work in Germany because since she was an American woman, she was not expected to stay and teach in Germany. While there, she was given special lectures by Mueller, as she was not allowed in the main classes due to being a woman, as well as studying with Helmholtz and Ketnig. In 1892, Christine developed her theory of color vision in reaction to theories of Helmholtz and Herring, which she felt were inadequate. Christine's first vision paper was published in the initial issue of the American Journal of Psychology. In her book, Theories of Color Vision, Christine describes initial vision as ether vibrations in the eye, which become another form of energy and go to the occipital lobes. She also describes her theory of color vision, which she thought was the 3rd stage in the evolution of vision. The outer part of the field of vision in the eye was thought to be in the 1st stage of evolution and could see black and white, while the inner part was in the 2nd stage of evolution and could see yellow and blue. The center part of the eye was in the 3rd stage of evolution and could see red and green. In red-green colorblind individuals, the center part of the eye was thought to remain in the 2nd stage, while in individuals who were completely colorblind, the entire field of vision was still in the 1st stage of evolution, which could only see black and white. Christine theorized that the responses of rods and cones in the eye to light were due to a chemical reaction where a light-sensitive mother substance in the eye was destroyed by light, which activated the rods and cones in the eye. Other contributions of her theory include the notion that black is perceived unique from white and other colors, as well as the phenomena where you can see red in a black room or when your eyes are closed, as this is thought to be the observation of your eye's own nerve currents.
In 1893, Christine was the first woman to be inducted into the American Psychological Association.
Christine and her husband moved to New York in 1910.
In 1914, she became the first woman to attend a meeting of Titchener's experimentalists when his group organized a meeting in New York City where Christine was living at the time. In 1919, she also became one of the first female members of the Optical Society of America due to her work on color vision. She was also the first woman to obtain a PhD in mathematics and logic. She also established a fellowship for women professors called the Sarah Berliner Fellowship for Women.
Despite fulfilling the requirements, she was not awarded her PhD until 1926 at the Johns Hopkins University 50th anniversary ceremony, 44 years after she left the school and 4 years before she died.
Christine passed away on March 5, 1930 at the age of 82.
Her legacy was carried out through her daughter, who further contributed to the feminist movement. 62 years after her death, the Association for Women in Psychology established the Christine Ladd Franklin Award that is given annually to women who excel in psychology.